Hello, and welcome back to Ferri Unfiltered. It's been a while. It's been almost a year. Now, in that year, we have left our old gym, moved to a brand new one, and we've created this office/podcast room. Many visions have been accomplished along that year, and this has been something we've aspired to do for quite some time. Now, to take you all the way back, I had my last episode in about December, and I knew after that I had to put the podcast on hold. It gutted me because I was really enjoying getting right back into it, but I'll tell you why we had to finish up. What had happened in roughly about the October, I'd say probably the October time, our old unit got took over. It was took over by a brand new landlord, and they were going to create everything into storage units. When they were doing that, they offered us a new unit within that building. But what I'd said to Laura was, I mentally cannot be in this building anymore. I can't be here. I was waiting for 2023, October 2023, to hit the 5-year all clear. It was just a big milestone for me, which I'm sure other cancer survivors or MD that's had cancer or had anything slightly heavy and traumatic to them, will always have these sort of milestones they want to reach. Maybe that was just me, but I know it's not just me. And I say to her, I can't be here. Now, we went about looking for all other units. Something just didn't sit right with me taking the unit in their old building. I just couldn't be there. Now, I went about Motherwell like Dora the Explorer. We went up and down the streets, questioning different businesses that they were maybe moving out, phoning different landlords, phoning everything, trying to get something, and nothing was happening. And my arse was collapsing slightly because my option was take that other unit, or do I just actually fold Ferri Fit completely? Do I fold it and just move on? And I remember sitting with Laura saying that to her. I was like, do we actually just end Ferri Fit? We've had a good run. And she said, no. She's like, I can't do it, and I don't think you can either. And she was right. Maybe I won't be doing this forever, but at that moment in time, I know that I just couldn't give it up. So, by chance, by about the December, I always remember it was Sophia and Lucia's Christmas parties. I got a phone call from two of my friends who run a business, and they says, look, there's a unit that's just going to go up on the market. It's not really been advertised. It's in Motherwell. It's 1k away from your gym. Why don't you go down and see it? Now, I say to them, no, it's too big. I'm not going to take it on. They're like, look, Chris, see the time you fill it in my kit, I don't think it'll be too big. So, sure enough, I remember that morning getting ready, coming down, and met the landlord, and lovely guy, and I walked in, and it was an old food production company. So it was just white walls everywhere. It was just open plan. Everything was just spacious. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. And just that way, you were like, I can make this work. I know I can make this work. So I remember phoning Laura, really excited. I'm like, oh my God, Laura, this is it. You need to come and see this. She's like, right, calm down and let me see it first. And then straight away, as I usually do, phoned my dad. I was like, Dad, can you come down and view this unit with me? 37 years of age, and I still have to get my dad's approval of things. But my dad being in the building trade, I knew that he could vision how it would spatially get set out, where partitions would go, how it could work. So that afternoon, after the girls' Christmas show, we came down, the three of us, and they viewed it, and the two of them just looked at me and they're like, this is it. And I was like, yes. So, gentleman's agreement with the landlord, we were like, let's go for this. And I did say to him, I'm going to run my lease in my old unit right up to like the March. By the beginning of March, I need to be in here. Now, me being me and Laura being Laura, we decided to move a full gym in a week, which was not any easy task. So, by the end of March, by the beginning of March, end of February, we shut down the old Ferri Fit 1, and we were like, let's just go for this. And everybody was all hands on deck. We had a big massive lorry, we were putting all the kit in it, we were lifting flooring. We literally ran a 6 a.m. class and a 9:30 coffee club circuits. The minute coffee club circuits finished on that Friday, we had put everything in the van and we had started moving it to the new unit. It was insane. We closed Ferri Fit for 1 week. 1 full week, and we got this place open. Now, was it singing and dancing? No. Did it still look rough? Yeah. Was my spark working right through the night till the Friday morning? And he literally was still putting away his tools at 6 in the morning. He worked right through the night, by the way, and people were coming in for boot camp, and we did it. And I'm really proud that we did that. It was mental, but we got there. And after that, it's been really quite a lot. A lot of this has been pushing me out my comfort zone in many ways. Lawyers, architects, dealing with the council, building warrants, planning permission, just so many aspects of things that I had no clue of doing that I had to learn. And this is the type of thing that I've, one, not enjoyed, but I have enjoyed when I sit back and looked at it, is as a business owner, I've learnt quite a bit. I've learnt a lot in my time from being a one-man band PT to just doing boot camps in a rugby field to now where we're at the moment. There's been a lot of learning, and it's not easy. It's not easy, and this is partly why I wanted to get back to this podcast, is after doing all of this and you finally stop, and obviously we're in the unit, we're still chipping away. It's been really, really stressful, and it's been really, really hard, and I've took a massive dent to my confidence, I would say, as well. I just found that I had this crazy imposter syndrome, that I was never good enough, and I kept questioning everything I did, and if something was going well, I would just self-sabotage it, and I was getting really fed up with doing this, and it was actually having more an effect on my health again, to the point where I was just running myself into the ground, to the point where a couple of months ago I ran myself so much into the ground that I ended up in hospital. And for a guy that trains a lot and looks after everything he's eating, I know I've had quite a few curveballs thrown at me, but I always sort of look at these things of what do I need to learn from it. And that happened a few months ago where I was just getting insane migraines. The pain was unbelievable, and I couldn't put my finger on it because I didn't want to. I knew fine well what it was. It was stress, it was being overworked, it was long days, and I ended up in hospital, and I didn't want to go because I knew with my previous health scares and like cancer, being diabetic, and I don't know if a lot of you know that like 7 years ago, just when Sophia was born, I had a bleed in the brain, and that's always been sort of like one of the ones where I sort of like, oh God, I was worrying if that's what it was again. And that's what happened. When I went in, they wanted to check for that straight away. They're like, right, sore head. Right, we've looked at your previous records. The doctor actually says to me, he's like, you're actually the talk of the ward here, because they're all actually questioning, is this actually real? Is this guy's report? Is like, has he really had these things? And I'm like, yes, this is me. Anyway, I got checked out. They done a CT scan. CT scan came back. I actually do have a brain. And then they said, look, we think a lot of it is stress, and you are going to manage the stress a bit better, but what we're going to do is, because of your previous health history, and also if it was a bleed in the brain, this has been more than 12 hours since your last headache, what we're going to have to do is do a lumbar puncture and check you out there. I was like, for the love of God. Anyway, got a lumbar puncture, and everything came back fine. So I knew fine well it was stress. One of the first things I did after that was I booked a cycle with my friend. So I messaged Jim and I was like, can we go back out on the bikes? And I looked at everything. And while I was in hospital, I looked at everything, and I sat and thought about everything. And everything that I had put to the side that I enjoyed, I had loved, and it just sort of filled my cup up. I just started pushing it further and further away, and just drowning myself in work and thinking that I had to do everything when I don't. I've got an amazing team, and the only way we're ever going to keep building this business and not having me in hospital is by using the team and using the team's strengths to take us further and further and further. So I looked at everything and went, right, what fills my cup? Right, get back out of my bike. Right, so that was fine. So in a selfish way, what things will be good for me to help me get better? And one of them, as well as I kept writing down, was get back to my podcast. I missed this so much because it was one of these type of things where I got to, one, be a bit more creative in the fact that I could think of ideas to talk to you guys. I visioned, and which I hope you guys enjoy the episodes of, is bringing guests on that obviously fill your cup, but they're very inspirational. It could be from anything. It doesn't need to be all singing and dancing. It's things like things they've accomplished in life that other people maybe thought, I don't think I could do that. And the whole point of the podcast is to say, yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter what your goal is. Everybody's goal is completely different. But what the point of the podcast is no matter what happens to you in life, you can always bounce back. We've all got bounce back ability. And I had to prove that to myself as well. I had to prove to myself that, yeah, this has happened again, but you know what? I'm going to bounce back for this, and I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to look at it in a positive way. How can I improve? How can I get better? And how can I take this negative situation that's maybe happened and turn it into a podcast, or turn it into something positive? And that's what my main aim is. So over the next few episodes, we are going to bring some guests on again. Some people who've maybe been on the podcast before, but some people are going to be new. Now, to the back of this camera, we've got our couch. We're going to be sitting down, having a coffee on the couch together, and it's going to be great. We're going to be able to talk. We're going to be able to share stories, and that is exactly what's going to happen moving forward. Now, as I say, that was obviously just a short episode today to reintroduce myself and also tell you that the plan is to keep Ferri Unfiltered your podcast where you can tune in and you can listen to people's stories. I'll tell you stories, and we're also going to be looking at things that will hopefully help your mindset, and also keep you encouraged and also keep me encouraged in knowing that we can and we will achieve whatever we set out to do with consistency and just a good outlook in life. There's always going to be shit things that are happening, but the way we need to look at this is how can we take the positive out of this and how can we learn from it. What we're going to do is finish with a wee story that it's an old story and you've maybe heard it before, but it's something that I really, really enjoy, and I always just sort of refer back to this as well. It's about a horse and a farmer. Well, it starts off as a horse and a farmer. It's about a farmer, and what happens one day is he's on the field and his horse runs away. And he's like, oh, I can't believe this happened. And people in the village come up to him and they're like, that was unfortunate, isn't it? Your horse ran away. And he's like, aye, maybe. Now, the next day, the horse comes back with 7 other horses. The same people that says that was unfortunate come back up to him and they're like, that's really lucky, isn't it? He's like, aye, maybe. The next day, his son gets on the horse and he's riding the horse about the field, and the horse bucks, the boy flies off and he breaks his ankle. The people in the village, very negative by the way, come up to him again. They say, that was really unfortunate. I can't believe he's broke his ankle and the blinking horse just came back. He's like, I know. And they're like, really, really unlucky, isn't it? And he's like, aye, maybe. Next day, the army come, and they come down and they're recruiting again. They come and they do the medical with his son, and they say, like, you're not fit for this, so you're actually just going to have to stay here and just help on the farm. People again come up to the dad, the farmer, and say, I was really lucky. He's like, aye, maybe. Now, the whole point of this is to say to you that there is always going to be these type of situations where you think, it is really unfortunate, it was maybe negative. Other people may say to you, that was really unlucky. At the same point, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe a couple of years down the line, you maybe look back at that situation and go, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I actually learned quite a bit from that. And that's something I would like us to keep doing. So anyway, it's episode 1 of a brand new season. It's maybe episode 20 odd of the full Ferri Unfiltered. But with our brand new season, it's episode 1. And I hope you keep tuning in. I will have some amazing guests for you. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming back, listening to me waffle away, and I can't wait to catch up with you very, very soon. Ciao.